I used to think, and kind of still do deep down, pushed way back, less today than maybe yesterday, if you will. I used to think, who am I? I've got nothing to give. I am nothing. I am not the smartest person from not the best place to start life. Who am I? Growing up, I never had that self-worth. I was always, in one way or another, put down, shut down, and had to find my own confidence. And even if that confidence was in nothing, it came from nothing and was of nothing except my body, my being. That's all I had. So who am I? And when I set my sight on a goal of just not living there my entire life, knowing that I had no support system, influence to drag me, I wouldn't say drag, but to help me escape that, I turned into an everyman mentality, every man for himself mentality, where I don't care if I'm going to be an asshole to somebody because they're not going to be there later anyway. Except for the friends I grew up with. We always had a thing that we were always going to be there for each other. If one of us was going to make it huge, we'd bring everybody else along with us. So who am I? I'm nobody. I'm nothing. But when the shit went down, if you will, whether that's a negative or a positive situation, am I still there beside those people, those friends? Or did I walk away and do my own thing? Well, I stayed. And sometimes you need to learn, until it's your time, that's all you have to be. You only have to be there. You only have to be present. Who am I? But yet, when we used to all run, around 90% of the time, everybody would look to me as to, what are we doing? Where are we going? It was up to me to guide the system, to find the path, to whatever the case may be. again, who am I? I'm just someone who's there. I'm just someone who has had a vision, didn't know how to execute it, but was looked upon to maybe not, maybe more metaphorically, get us out of here. What are we doing today? Let's go. Let's just go somewhere. Let's just go. Where are we going, James? Because I always knew, even though I never felt I had much worth, self-worth, that within that system of friends, my worth was much higher to them than it was to myself. But I'm not doing nothing special. I have no, I don't have nothing that they don't have. Again, who am I? But I learned to always put yourself somewhere else. Put yourself somewhere where you haven't been. Because you never know who you're going to run into that could change your life. It's not necessarily about what you have to give at any particular moment. It's just the fact that you are there and you're not going to leave anybody behind. You're not going to turn and walk away if times got hard, tough, and or you came across something that was positive and you're just going to keep it to yourself and go away. So my self-worth just became, I'm there. I'm here. Let's go here. Let's try that. Let's see where this road takes us. That was what I learned my self-worth was. And just knowing that one day when that something comes my way, I will be able to say, it's my turn to give. Now we take that and fast forward into, say, the last 5 years. And we take it to the internet. We take it to YouTube. Who am I to make videos? I start the whole routine all over again, just in a different setting and a different surroundings. Who am I to get on here and talk to people? I'm nobody. But my self-worth, one's self-worth should not be generated, should not be appraised by oneself. That should be left to others to do. Because all you have to do is show up. And when something happens, negative or positive, just be there to share. Always walk in the room that you've never walked in before. Always drive down the road you've never driven down before. Always try something As long as it hurts nobody else, obviously, that you've never tried before. Because some people come from a different position in life, not just literally, but when it comes to support systems, when it comes to one's emotional makeup, one's it's not emotional and physical, I'm trying to think of, just people who were pushed to do something great or do something different. Everyone has a different makeup of them, who they are, and what they had to give, what they're there for. So just show up. So it's okay just to hit record and just talk, because there might be somebody on the other side of that camera whose worth of you is greater than what you feel your worth is. But there will become a moment, hopefully you'll have a moment, that one day you will feel that your self-worth is justified within yourself, you know. I personally don't think, internally, I don't feel that's ever happened to me yet. I'm still hopeful one day it will. But like I said, who am I to evaluate myself? Because if somebody came to me and said what I'm saying, I would just be like, just be there. Just, if shit goes down, have my back. If I need a moment to talk, just listen. If you need a moment to talk, I'm going to listen. Just be there. So who am I? I'm whatever you think I am. Period. That's who I am. I'm just here to show up because that's who I am. That's who I enjoy being. It got me from point A to point B. It drug me from the bottom to where I stand today just because I showed up. I never stopped. I just kept going. I didn't back off if times got hard. If I did come across some positive, I didn't back off and take it with me and just go away. Eat it up. It dies out and I am left alone. That's not who I was. I just showed up. So I don't need to be who I think I should be, because when that moment comes, I will be that person. You don't have to try to be that person every day to justify some self-worth, some ego. Just don't be afraid to show up. Because the day you don't show up might be the day that somebody else's loneliness has hit rock bottom. What would have happened to that group of friends I grew up with if one of us didn't show up? Would we had fallen apart? What would have, the dynamic would have changed somehow? What would that have caused? When we all had nothing, we showed up for each other. And it got us through a lot of hard times, a lot of rough situations. And in reality, it got us all to where we wanted to go. Whether that is the few who didn't want maybe what others saw, like myself, something outside that box, something bigger. We all, at the end, got what we wanted. We got what we showed up for. Once you learn that the answer to who am I is just whatever somebody else says you are, and you're okay with that, that's all you need. Whether that somebody thinks it's a negative or positive, doesn't matter. Because you know you're showing up. And you're trying. You're giving it everything you got. And you're going to have somebody's back just as they will have yours. And with that, what's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, ReToptionAgency.com, urban-picker.com. 23 years selling full-time on eBay and still showing up. All right, got both stores to ship out. Got some of the oddball stuff that I've been putting up, my everything stuff that's been selling like crazy. I want to talk about another trend, not a trend, but a pattern that is eBay, and one of the signs, I believe, that shows how screwed up their system is. And it's just another scenario that fits into pretty much all the things that I always talk about. But it's just another example. But first, I want to see what I did yesterday. I have no idea the numbers I did, so I'm curious to see. Curious to see, I say. And I got my calculator today. Yesterday in the clothing store, $317. $317, still down 20% over here. But to be fair, I haven't really put nothing in the store. I wish I could put this store back into my other store and still just make things easier. But as you've seen, these stores are completely different. They're totally treated different. They act different. They look different. Everything about them, it's different. The year-old account compared to the 23-year-old account, completely different from each other. And that includes when sales come through, how things are shown. That all feels different. So I think going back to one store would just put me back into that position where I could wind up just one day only having a $400 day. the media store. Gonna go see if I got any international. On the international websites, that is. I know I had international sales, just don't know if I had any on the international websites. So let's see. So yesterday, yes, I had $53 on the international websites. So I'm going to give you the number first, and then I'm going to talk about this. $643.18 on the media store alone, which put me at $960 yesterday. Now you may be asking yourself, James, what was different about yesterday compared to all the other days? Well, two things actually. First, the night before, not last night, but the night before, I had sales all night long. 12 o'clock hour, 1 o'clock hour, 2 o'clock, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Sales all night. The way it should be, the way it always has been before they seem to tinker with the website every night. It looked like at least my account, the big account, got a night off. And it shows in the numbers, $643. But another part of that too is I made a statement the other day, it's time to turn on the everything seller in me. So instead of being fixated on media and just hats, let's just start pounding into these boxes. I've got the stuff. Let's just start listing the everything stuff. And that stuff's moving. Toys, oddball things, a few items you'll see here. So yesterday, I think it was the best of both worlds. Now, did one trigger the other? That's going to have to wait to be seen, because last night was a shutdown night. I had 6 hours of nothing, yet I'm still listing that stuff. So I don't think the items necessarily triggered the website sales all night, because it was media that sold all overnight. But the fact that the website didn't shut down, I do feel helped also. So that was 62 items sold just in the media store yesterday alone. Let me see how many was in the clothing store, see how close to the 100 we got. Because that's my goal, to get back to my 100-piece days. And I don't know if it's this computer, the website, or my connection, but it's slow this morning. So only 18 over here. So 80 items sold yesterday. Boom. I can dig that, sucker. That's what I'm talking about. That's my thumbnail right there. Yeah. So I may not have, everything you want to hear on any random video, but I hope just me showing up is enough for some people. And just sharing my experience. Because, hey, a lot of us are alone at home anyway, right? And I'm stalling now because didn't I say I had something to talk about and now I don't remember what it is? Or was that it? I don't remember. If I don't take notes, I forget. I forget. Oh, the pattern. So, I talked about before where, and this plays into the fact that the night before last was not shut down. So, my theory has always been when they shut down, the items somehow are hidden, not seen. In my eyes, they're taking down. Okay, here's the wide spectrum of eBay worldwide. I ship international. I ship on 10 plus international eBay websites. Here's eBay to me, wide open. When they have the shutdowns overnight, hold on, I just see, is that $22 or $200? Let me jump in here real quick and get distracted by this offer, just in case this is a $200 offer. Nope, I need my glasses. It's a $22 offer. Now you know why I wear glasses. And this thing I'm accepting right now is another example of what I'm getting ready to talk about, actually. So it falls into perfect. Not so much as the others, but... So here's eBay to me. When I feel they shut down every night, right, then we're here. When they turn it back on, things have to index. So it's a slow build. So I'm getting low sales. Oh, wait, it's 24 hours later, time to shut down. Okay, turn it back on. Slow sales. Oh, it's 24 hours later, shut down. Let's work on this. Okay, let's turn it back on. The night before last, there was no shutdown for me. Sales got bigger, 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 and they kept rolling in. Another theory of that brings this. Shutdown. Items start indexing. For some reason, I have not figured it out yet, because I don't believe it's all just those items were listed at the same time type of thing. But it seems to be almost SKU related, location related. And the fact that I don't list in a certain location all at the exact same time is why I don't fall for all these items were listed together, so they index together back. But there was two areas yesterday that I have not sold anything out of for weeks, if not a month plus. One is around the corner where there's 52 different boxes. The other, there is probably a total of 50 boxes in that area. Nothing sold out of these two areas forever. But yesterday, I pulled 5 out of one area, 5 sales. And then pulled out of this one yesterday, and I pulled 2 more from it today. All my items were being seen. I had sales from every area of my basement. It wasn't just the same old places over and over again. That falls into that indexing feel. Whether it's a theory, it's a feel, whatever I want to say, call it. That's just what it seems like. That's just the picture that I've drawn in my head. That there's a reason to that. And when I finally get sales overnight, I have sales from every part of the basement. But then when I don't have sales overnight, it feels like the same old system. There's something to that. What it is, I don't know. But that's what I feel like it is. So that's what I roll with, because that's where my level of intelligence is with that situation. My ignorance level, if you will. All right, let's get to, I'm going to look at questions, comments real quick because I did not get to do that this morning. So I'll see if there's anything in particular that jumps out to talk about while I ship these items. So I did a little walkthrough into my garage. Some of the items I was pulling out to list yesterday. Getting into the oddball stuff. Could you do a video that discusses having a product removed for a listing violation? Then you appeal that violation and how long the appeal takes to be resolved and what the potential outcomes are, etc. Also, many people list things on eBay that are against policy and they are allowed to continue selling, but some people list and have the product removed immediately. Well, I've done things about that when it's happened to me and how to go through the steps to counter it. So maybe I need to do a little makeup video for that. But when it comes to other people doing it, don't worry about others. Worry about yourself. There's tons of media sellers that have those multi-piece pages where they put all their cassettes, all their CDs onto one page. That's not allowed, but yet there's tons of them out there. Every once in a while, one will get taken down. So why do these people get away with it for so long, and here I am using one item for one listing? All I know is it's against policy and I'm not doing it. That's all I need to know. Why am I going to waste my energy on that? Until eBay says it's okay to do it, I'm not even going to look at it. It doesn't matter. Does it hurt me? Yes, because when you have a listing that keeps selling the same thing, they get benefit in the search. It hurts me. It's not allowed, but it's going to hurt me more if I worry about it, because it's not going to make me unmotivated, or I'm going to do it and I'm going to get caught and then something could happen to my account. So unless I'm going to go and report those, I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm not one to go and report things. eBay can deal with their own damn shit themselves, even though it hurts everybody else who follows the rules. But somebody said once, was it Primo Chemo maybe? Why does it, and I'm paraphrasing and putting my own spin on it, but people who do wrong seem like they get ahead more than people who try to do right. But you know what? At the end of the day, you got to be able to sleep. And people who take shortcuts don't last forever. Eventually, karma catches up. So worry about what you do and don't worry about what everybody else does, and do what's right. If everybody was looting in your neighborhood, would you be the person to join in the loot? Or would you be the person just sitting there shaking your head going, I can't believe these dumbass mother effers? That would be me. I'm not going to join in just because everybody else is doing it and it's wrong. For those new to the channel, James is different and has a model that works for him. However, 99% of people in real life could not have a successful business like this, since he has years and years of inventory that he bought up over the years. If James were to sell everything in his eBay store today, it would take him a solid 8 months just to ship everything. He is always on top of what is going on with eBay's website, and you never know what he will find in his old inventory listed. Did somebody say something to trigger that? I don't know. Or just, thank you for your words. Thank you. I hope you feel better, Sue. Been seeing you struggle with this every year, and it's hard. Allergies suck. Yeah, allergies. But, so we got a Sleep Number bed. So you have the mattress. Then you have the mattress cover. And then we have a padded fitted mattress cover. No, I should say the other one's a mattress topper. How about that? A padded mattress topper that goes over the foam and the airbags, if you will, in the Sleep Number. And then I have a fitted padded mattress cover. And then over that goes my fitted sheet. Well, when I pull stuff off to do the laundry, I go fitted sheet, and I don't even ever think about that padded fitted mattress cover. Never thought about it. Jan decides to pull it all off yesterday. And when she pulled off that mattress cover, on the mattress topper was mold. Big old mold stain. Just consistent mold from my body sweat going through the sheets. So that could have been help attributing to the last month and a half of just miserableness, the headaches that's been going on, breathing in those mold spores every night. So we're going to see if it gets better. So I took that mattress topper off, rolled it up in the trash. She had to order a new one. It was like freaking $500. So she ordered the new one. And then I told her last week, got to get rid of this blanket because that's why my body's sweating so bad. It's just because I can't sleep comfortably because it's just too heavy. So she ordered a lighter blanket, one that's supposed to breathe easily. Used it last night. Beautiful. I was chill all night. No sweat. Very comfortable. So I'm like, yes. So hopefully that whole situation is fixed. We eliminate the body sweat, eliminated the mold, so everything will hopefully be better in the head. I'm still going to have sinus issues, I'm sure, but hopefully I won't have that freaking pain that just knocks me out of nowhere and then upchuck because it's so painful. The NES box alone sells for good money. If you watched my storage video from last night. Had someone message me about not being able to send offers to for a day or two. All seemed well. Now they're messed up. Yes, I had another customer who said, I've tried to accept your offer you sent me, and when I send offers to watchers, and it will not allow me to send it. So they sent me the offer that I sent them so I could accept it. Again, how many people are going to do that? How many people just walk away? That's where that's one of the offer issues where we're losing sales. If a buyer cannot send the offer or even accept the offer, we're going to lose that sale 9 times out of 10. How do I know? Because I do so much volume, and every time I will have that one who will reach out and say, hey, this is not working. And yet they'll have like thousands of feedback, so they know what they're doing. It's not like they have 1, 2, or 3 when I evaluate it. When somebody comes with problems like that, with low feedback, I try to give other ways around it. But when somebody comes with 2,000 plus feedback, I just take it they know what the hell they're doing, and this is a problem. I feel you. Allergies can run you down. Nasal Flonase allergy shots work for me. Add a Monster drink on the rougher days to stay awake. Also a dab of peppermint oil at the temples of the sinus pressure. Never tried that. But yeah, I use my... that's probably why I just freaking get a frozen Coke every day. You just get that sugar high to keep going because, man, every day I'm just like, this sucks. I do feel better today. I did get to sleep. I took them out, puppies out. Maybe 11 o'clock last night. Hoping they'll sleep all night. So Pee-wee didn't get me up till like 5:30 this morning. So I let him out and just went ahead and gave him his medicine and food and went back to bed to catch up on my sleep from the night before. But so I feel good. I feel a lot better today. You got any comics or sports cards for sale? I don't know if I got any comics in storage. I'm sure I've got tons of sports cards of all kinds, whether they're of value or not. I did pull out a box of football cards that had a $1 sticker on it that I either got from somebody or I picked up a yard sale for $1, one of the two, or at the Benz, I don't know. Brand new, because they're sticking together. And there was it said on there a limited Joe Namath in the box. I'm like, oh, let's find that and check that. I checked that, and it looks like it's about a $100 card. So I got to have a $100 Joe Namath card in one of my boxes. So Maybe I should. And then I didn't see, I know that some people had it graded, and so they were asking like almost 300 for it. But I don't think there was any sales on graded. So I've never graded anything, but if I was to do it, that was the condition, that card. And the ones that were up there were not even, I mean, they were like a 5 out of 10 or whatever. This would probably be very close to a 10 out of 10, because it's like, this box is like pristine, the cards in it. So is it something I should, I don't know. That's not my world. I don't know. I never, maybe I should talk to Alex, my boy. You know, I think he's sold graded cards before, so maybe I need to talk to him about that. Waiting for you to do the video about promoted listing change in England. I've been ignoring that just because, good Lord, if they do it here, it's not going to surprise me. But basically, all your items are going to be tagged with promoted. People said it before in my comments. They're just working their way up, so every item you sell is promoted, and that's what that does. The promoted that they changed overseas, no matter who clicks on the item, when it sells, it's sold at the promoted rate. So customer A can click on it in January, customer B can buy it in December, and it's still going to be promoted, get the promoted. How that is legal, blows my mind. The stuff that eBay seems like they're getting away with is just so underhanded and so just unethical. It's just blowing me away how those running eBay these days have no conscience whatsoever about sellers. It's all about filling the pockets of the people on the freaking board. That's all it is. That's all eBay is today. eBay has nothing to do with the sellers. Yet we are eBay. Yeah, all right, let's get to shipping. Because if I go down that road, it's just going to piss me off, because in my eyes, that's just unethical. And when it comes to people doing unethical things, I'm always the most vocal. And I'm the person, if I see somebody doing something unethical in public, I'm going to be the loudest person in the room. Even though I prefer to be an introvert, when I see somebody just doing something wrong, I'm the loudest person in the room, and I'm telling you, you're a fucking dumbass. And I'm in your face, and I'm making sure that you get the hell away from whatever the situation. I'm the loudest person in the room, because homie, don't play that. And that's what I feel like eBay is becoming. More and more of that underhanded, non-ethical BS. So I'm trying to avoid that right now. Trying to stay in more positive mode right now until it comes here. When it comes here, then you're going to see my ass explode. But I'm trying to keep focus on the things that I can change. Listing items, trying new routines, setting myself up for better success for future innovations, whatever the case may be. I'm trying to concentrate on the positives. All right, so I got a hat going to Canada. I don't think that has to go out till tomorrow, so I'll probably ship that one later today. So let's get started here. So yeah, I'm just trying to stay on the positive front, if you will. First up, we got an Unknown W logo visor, sold for $10.50. Head to Nag's Head, North Carolina, or Nag's Head, however you pronounce it. So if you saw the picture last night on the post, I got a call from a friend of mine who had 4 big old bags of toys to sell me for $100. Whoops. So I went up and got those from him last night. So I'll work on those today. And that kind of plays, I guess that's something to talk about. That kind of plays into what I was talking about earlier, how just show up, right? Like, not just show up, but put yourself out there, because you never know what a situation will turn into. We got this saddle bred polo green shirt sold for $14.50, headed to Layton, Oklahoma. But like this friend, when the Goodwill outlet first opened 13 years ago or whatever here in the area, it's one of the first people I met down there. There was a group of regulars. We were there every day, and he was one of them. And the group of regulars, we all hung out, talked, and knew each other, etc. And so still to this day, he still goes. He said he's going to be over at the Bridgeton every day this week for both shifts. But putting yourself out there, talking, being social, even if you're not a very social butterfly type of person per se, you never know what it can lead to. And here we are all these years later, still helping each other out. He's the one that came across that big Star Wars lot that he couldn't afford on his own, and there was so much stuff he couldn't take it all on his own. So I come in and we freaking... There's basically, I think, 6 car loads, 6 SUV loads of Star Wars, mid-90s. But the fact that we got it so cheap, still, I think we paid $950 for 4 car loads of toys. I got this little Minnie Mouse dress. Sold for $9, headed to Austin, Texas. But, yeah. So anything that he can't sell, doesn't sell at his toy shows that he does, and he'll do flea markets every once in a while, I just buy the rest from him. And like the last batch I got from him, I think I paid $100 for it, and just one of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers set sold for $77 on alone. So it's not like it's always just the low end stuff, but the last one I did from him was all lower end stuff. I think I've sold 1 item out of it so far. It's been up for about 4 days or whatever. So how much of this sells, I don't know. But you know, it's not about that. It's about 12 years of helping each other out. And you know, if I just make my money back on this over a year's time, that's fine with me. You know, he's always been there for me, so I try to be there for him in any way I can. So if that means, you know, I overpay sometimes for some of the stuff, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Because he's not an internet person. He doesn't mess with eBay. He came across some Blue Note jazz albums one time. He turned into eBay real quick because he was putting them up for auction and selling them for big money. Most of them going to Japan. But he doesn't really look at prices and stuff like that. So it's going to be a hit or miss. And I'm okay with either at this point. So unless I've only bought twice this year so far. Jan maybe twice. So again, I guess that kind of falls into just showing up. He wanted some money so he could keep going to the Goodwill outlet, keep buying toys and doing his thing. And I took the gamble. Even after I saw it and go, I'm probably just going to make my money back. Maybe make $2 per item average. But I don't know 100% if that's sure. But that was my first thought looking at the stuff. I'm fine with that. Plus, the way I look at it too is new toys that could bring different customers into the store, which could turn into a sale of something else. More fish in the, hooks in the water, worms in the water, whatever. Lines in the water, that's it. Like I always say. So with that, I just look at it, that's what I'm paying for. More lines in the water if it's a dud deal. A dud deal, if you will. No sweaty off of my back. Oops. Oh. No, I didn't give you my numbers for today. We're going on 11 a.m. though. The Ruling Class Music Edition 101 CD. So for $5 headed to Santa Rosa, California. Boink, boink, boink. Joey. Whoa, 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 whoa. Here's one of the items I put up the other day, a couple days ago. We got a drumstick from Ricky Rocket from Poison. And from what I understand, this has got to be one of his earlier models. I don't remember where I got it. Probably somebody gave it to me along the way over the years. So Ricky Rocket from Poison. I got an offer for $85 on it today, so I took it. And it's headed to Little Rock, Arkansas. And I've never packaged a drumstick before. So how do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? That'll work perfectly. So let me get a bigger pattern mailer to wrap it up in. Or just some bubble wrap, how about? So try so it doesn't get broke, snapped in half or something. So it doesn't make it snapped in half or something. It might be too much bubble wrap for this box. Yeah, that's too thick. Guess I don't really need that much bubble wrap. Let's just put 2 layers, James. 1 stick. 2 stick. There we go. That should be perfect. Biggity bam. Figured this stuff's been sitting in a box for the last 10 years in my garage. You know what? If I'm not going to set it up on a shelf and display it now, just sell it. Nelson. That's the way I'm looking at it. It's going, when I pull a box out, it's either getting listed, going in trash or recyclable, getting donated, or going up on a shelf or on display in my office. If it doesn't fit any of those criteria, then it goes up for sale, basically. That don't make sense, James. You just named all the criterias. Shut up. It's got a name. It's just not going back in a box and back in storage. How about that? There you go, James. Be smarter than the words you're speaking. All right, Winter Wonderland. We got a bunch of little ornaments here. This sold for $10.25. Headed to St. Petersburg, Florida. So let's get that. There's no more housing stuff. unless it's listed for sale. Next up is an item I forgot to pull. It's a Florida Mariners felt pennant. Sold for $7.20. I don't think it has to go out till tomorrow, so I'll do that one later. Okay. And I was standing right beside that box too, and I got sidetracked. Kwame, and A New Beginning, long box. This isn't one of the items that the long boxes. It seems like they sell in a period of time and then they just go cold for a very long time. Almost like the whole indexing things. Like when it's indexing, I feel this one, long boxes are about right here. And like the two areas I talked about earlier are out here. So when our indexing comes back and it's here, then I get long box sales. When it comes to here, then I get those other two areas of sales. But anyway, this sold for $12, headed to Saco, Maine. Get some mail. Hey there, fluffy face. Courtney all snug in her bed. Snug as a bug in a rug. Hey, Sylvester. Okay. 12. Chris. Yes. Next up, we got Juvenile, 12-inch vinyl. Sold for $5, headed to Reno, Nevada. So yeah, I mean, just show up. You never know what things will turn into. But don't just show up selfishly. Slovakia. All right, I'm gonna do these later, but another item from storage, just a bunch of little Kiss stuff. Old Kiss figure, not old, but the 90s ones that don't sell well. Kiss, Gene Simmons bus, Peter Criss with part of his drum kit, Gene with his bass. Sold for $14.50, headed to Slovakia. So let's take that one out. Next up, Earth, Wind, and Fire CD. Sold for $5, headed to Arcadia, California. That needs resurfaced. I need to do this resurface. Don't seal, James. Don't seal. 4. David. So I got like 6 items here to resurface from yesterday. Plainview CD. Hidden Plainview. Sold for $6, headed to Indiana. Valparaiso, something like that. Why am I seeing my nose was fine? Now all of a sudden it's starting to itch. Stop it. Boom. Jason. Waiting for Jason. Next up, Are you ready for a city life? Oh, we got 2, 4, 6, 8 CDs. All $5 a piece. Probably buy 2, get 2 free was used. We've got the first one. Is the Best Buy Celebrate Black History Month CD from my Hastings buyouts. We got classic jazz in a broken up case. Stop keeping these broken cases, dude. I have too many projects to get done. Oops, no, it goes in here, James. Desmond Brubank and others. CD. Terrence Trent D'Arby. Wish my lover wishing well, kiss and tell. This one needs resurfaced. Jimmy Rogers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I forget one? Yes, I did. Oregon 14, Black Panther. So I gotta grab that one. Beyond Deja Vu. And then another one from my Hastings buyout. Black Panther, Oregon 14, because it wasn't in the A74, so I gotta get it from A14.
Hi, baby girl. How you doing?
Can't see without my glasses and a little light. Light. Give me light. Black Panther. Alright, and we gotta resurface that. Need some stuffer. Stuffer! Don't seal. Pew, pew. 2 ounces. Mark. Madonna, ABC Music for Beginners book. So for $6, headed to Bronx, New York. Not quite. Boink. 5. There. Guess I did. Dominic. And did I forget that one too? Good Lord. I'm just not on it today. There we go. That was like a more than one cha-ching. We got this loop La La Loopsy doll. Pulled from storage. I have no clue where this came from. I don't know. It's just in storage in a box. Sold for $20. Headed to Phoenix, Arizona. Will you fit in this box here? Do your legs really bend or anything? Yeah, that's gonna be rough. Maybe if I put you like that, pose you, be like, what do you do for a living? I pose dolls for videos. Da, 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 da. Look at that pose. Hey, I should be professional. I'm a professional doll poser for YouTube. That's my new profession. Look at that. Look how eloquent. There's another word that I hate saying. Eloquent. Elegant. You have to go and screw it up, James. What your bull crap? Can't even talk. It's just the English language, one of the most confusing languages there is. Come on, boy, get it together. Seven, 8, 6, 4. Mina got a doll coming her way. All right, this could be one of two places. Shelf 91. That's my overstock here. Let me see if it's up here. That would be the nice, easiest way. Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo. This would be the easiest way. There you are. Thank you. Yay. J-Lo. Sold for $5. Headed to San Antonio, Texas. Texas, 'cause I'm blind in Texas, Louis. Review purchases. Confirm and pay. I left my calculator open, didn't I? Boom. Thank you. Prince Zilebaz, as the French version of James would say. That's the French in me. I got a little bit of French in me. That's the French in me talk. Prince Zilebaz. That was Pee-wee. Prince Zilebaz. On 23andMe, they got some of my ancestors going back to Vikings now. How crazy is that? Having ancestors who were Vikings. From ships pulled, I forget where the ships were dug up from. That had the DNA in it. It was linked to me. But there was more than one. That's just crazy to think about. There was a ship dug up somewhere on this earth. Old ship with bones of a person who lived all that time ago, and they were able to extract DNA from it in order to say that it's one of my ancestors. That's just crazy to think about. crazy cool, of course. Maybe the open one. I knew you were there somewhere. Alright, let me see where I'm at real quick before I go, because I gotta resurface the crap out of this stuff. So we're at 11:11. And let me, I'm not sure if I got any. I guess there would be no international sales. So at 11:11, we're $188 in the media store. And we are $77 in the clothing store. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. So I had a pair of jeans sell and a teddy bear sell. That was the cha-chings over here. All right. And there's another one. Oh, that is the jeans. So the other one was the teddy bear. But it sounded like it was more than one, though. But it's only showing one. Huh. Who knows? All right. I got to resurface, then get to the post office. All right. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. And I will see you all in the next video. Later.